Yo, what is going on, guys? Cryptic TMG back with a brand new video. Today we're going to discuss the events that happened yesterday in my stream. And yeah, guys, basically what I'm going to be showing you is how not to react when things don't go your way in a race. I've seen these sorts of things quite often, and it's been happening more and more recently where, you know, if a guy feels slighted on track, he just decides to take ultimate revenge. And yeah, we saw a lot of that on stream yesterday. So we're gonna get stuck into the video, and I'm gonna show you guys how not to behave whenever you have any sort of altercation on track. So let's get stuck into the video. So we're going to focus on this guy. I think he probably qualified like, I don't know, maybe 10th or something. And yeah, he was, at first, there was no problem. Everyone seemed to be racing cleanly. As you see, he pulls off quite an interesting maneuver around the outside and actually makes it stick, which is hats off, because he gained so many positions. And at the moment, everyone's giving space. It's not too big of a deal. It does get a little bit, you know, door to door, three cars wide, a little bit of banging, but it's the opening lap. Again, it's something that's completely normal, particularly when you got LMP3s and, you know, everything's just in the mix, so it's a little bit closer. You can see that's me next to him on the right hand side, and obviously he's gained a load of positions. He's had a few bits of contact. I think I come across him a little bit here because on my screen I thought he was going towards the left, but he stayed in the middle of the track, so there was contact there, and I actually get killed from behind, so I actually end up at the back of the grid. And that was the altercation that me and him had on the opening lap. And yeah, it was nothing too crazy. He still pretty much kept position, I guess, and he still made up a lot of positions. Now, notice he was ranked 32nd in split one, so him being up this high, 5th position, he's going to gain a load of DR and SR, so he's done pretty well for himself, to be honest. All right, so we're going to fast forward to later on in the race, because I think I dropped down to last position, I believe. I dropped down right towards the end of the grid. If I go down and find my name, I'm here. I think I've made a couple of passes by now. So as you can see, I'm pretty much right at the back of the grid right now. So I had to make my way back up towards the front, and we're going to skip it forward so you guys can see what happens later on in the race once I manage to catch back up to the guys at the front. So now, as you can see, I've made my way all the way back up to 6th position, and I'm challenging the guy for 5th. I've actually caught the dude who I was racing with right at the beginning, who we had the contact with. So yeah, he probably didn't have the greatest pace, and that's why he was ranked sort of lower in the lobby, but he was in a pretty good position. He's in 4th position. So as I said before, he's going to be gaining so much DR. So we're going to fast forward this a little bit, because this is the lap where I basically caught them all up. And yeah, I'm of course trying to apply pressure, trying to, you know, get him to make mistakes so I can get through. Just normal racing stuff. At no point was I dirty or take him out or hit him really hard or anything like that. It's just normal moves just to put somebody off. And now we're going to slow it down here. So he goes wide at the last corner, and watch what he decides to do. And you guys might just think it's defending, but you have to understand that, you know, he's literally putting himself in a position to get killed. So he waits for me to make a move. He waits for me to get a proper run on him, and then he defends it at the last moment. You can see I actually have to get out of the throttle a little bit, because if I didn't, I literally would have pit maneuvered him straight into the wall. And that's the thing that's when I start to realize, is this guy okay, or is he just really aggressive in defense? But I could tell by the way he was racing, he definitely had some sort of chip on his shoulder. So you actually see me back off of the throttle, just not to kill him on the straight, you know? And then I go back to the left-hand side. So now I'm just trying to put him off, trying to see what temperature he's at. And I could tell just by the way he was driving, he was completely driving in his mirrors, completely. So now again, I've got another run on him, and then he's gonna do the same thing again, wait for me to get to the side of him, and then try and completely run me off track. Okay, so I've sort of said, okay, cool, I kind of know what he's on, and the move is probably gonna have to be something where I sort of make him make a mistake. So that's why I'm sort of moving around in the background behind him, moving around on track just to distract him because I can tell that he's looking in his mirrors. So we send a little late move here, but I actually ended up pretty late on the brakes myself. And this is the incident where we get killed, okay? So we're 3 wide, and then he knows exactly what he's doing by coming across. Although the guy behind is the guy we had contact with, of course, he wasn't to know that this guy was just gonna come across me and force me to go to the right. So that's where I ended up having the contact, which pretty much destroyed our car because of course we hit the wall, suspension damage, all sorts, right? But that's not where it ends. Now that's where my race pretty much gets curtailed, but let's focus on the guy in question. So we're just gonna forward it a little bit. I think the pit stop was the next lap. So if we can forward this lap a little bit, and then you'll see he was getting very aggressive with everybody else. And I could tell you in the chat, he wasn't happy at what's about to happen. And it's like, you did it to yourself, you know? But it's like, because he got a drive-through penalty, a stop and go, he started taking it out on other people, which is just insane. I believe this is the lap. So as you can see, he's gone wide again. You could tell he was missing almost every single apex, and out of the last corner towards the pit lane, he brakes there. He brakes there, which is, I don't know what he was trying to do. So this guy in the Porsche gets towards the side of him, and because he's seen that the Porsche is going to get in front of him, he's then got off of the brake and back on the accelerator and ended up speeding into the pit lane and got a penalty. So he sped in just to try and get back in front, but he's cut the beam and he sped into the pit lane. So obviously he's going to get a stop and go. So watch what he does now. Now he's realized he's got a stop and go. It's just completely uncalled for. Tries to brake test him in the pit lane, but this guy gets out of the way in time. And it's just like, bro, all this stuff is thoroughly uncalled for. And it's just like, bro, listen, you know, you've done that to yourself. You broke way too early on the entry to the pit lane. And then just because you didn't want to see this guy go past you, you decided to speed up just before the pit limiter line and got yourself a penalty. And now you want to take it out on somebody. So we're going to skip this forward, skip the pit stop forward a little bit. So this guy actually has a pretty good pit stop, jumps the Porsche. Well, he doesn't really jump him because he was ahead when he drove in. But just watch this now. So he comes out of the pit lane. Still obviously very upset that he's got a drive-through, which again is all his fault. And he slows down. He purposely slows down, waits for the Porsche to come, and then just drives him completely off track. Even though the mistake was his own. It was his own mistake, you know? He literally did it to himself. So I'm not sure why he was so angry, right? And let's fast forward this because again, he's gonna have a drive-through. So he's going to take his stop and go. And yeah, it just got pretty crazy, guys. He was just extremely overly aggressive for just no reason. Like the contact that he had on lap 1 was normal racing contact. It was nothing special. He puts a nice little move on the Aston. Aston comes back at him. They do bang a little bit. Then he just decides, I'm gonna brake and I'm just gonna wipe this guy out too. And it's like, bro, think about the position that he's in right now, okay? Yes, this guy is being very aggressive too, but you've got the inside line. It's gonna be very hard for this guy to make a maneuver around the outside of the next corner. So you're still in prime position to keep this position. But he sacrifices all of that just to hit the brakes and make sure he can just take this guy out, you know? And it's just like, bro, are you okay? Like, are you okay? Telling you lads, do not be like this guy. Do not be this guy online, bro, because anything that happens to you, you're never gonna get any sympathy. any sort of bad luck, no one's going to feel sorry for you. No one's going to want to hear your story about why you did what you did, because everyone's just going to think you're an idiot, you know? So, lads, you just have to be, just calm down, bro. Like, in the grand scale of things in life, it's just not that deep, all right? I often wonder how old these people are, you know? I get it. If you're sort of 14, you're really young, then I get that you're not completely in control of your emotions yet as a young kid or whatever. I can understand that. I can give that grace. If you're grown, if you're 18 and above, bro, you're an idiot to me. All right? There's no way that you can be above 18 and this is your natural rationale on how to deal with situations on track just because you've had a little bit of door banging. It's pathetic, man. And honestly, normally, I won't even report these guys half the time. Half the time, I'm like, you know what? It's not that deep. Like, after I finish the race, I get off. I don't even care anymore. But nah, this guy needs an example, mate, because he's just doing the most. And nothing that happened to him was worthy of crashing out the way he did, you know? So, yeah. I hope you guys do take heed, man. Listen, it's all good. It's all love. You just have to relax a little bit. Sometimes people get aggressive in their race. It's just how it is. But if you retaliate in a certain way, like, bro, we're going to have to start reporting them because you're kind of ruining the race for everybody just because you've not had the race you wanted to. And that's happened to me plenty of times, bro. I can go back to the beginning of this race, you know, where I got absolutely killed. And, you know, I didn't decide, you know what, I'm going to start wiping people out because my race hasn't gone the way I wanted it to go. You know, it happens. It happens at the end of the day. It happens a lot to me too. It happens all the time. And yet I'm yet to retaliate, you know. I got hit by this guy. And see, look, I can accept it when someone's just made a mistake, they've lost their breaking point, they've hit me. Especially if they apologize, bro, it's all love. Like, it's not even that deep. You know what I mean? Especially if someone actually apologizes, oh, sorry, man, I didn't mean to, whatever, then it's cool. You know? I'm not going to be reporting no one that's obviously made a mistake. It's just not that deep. But when someone's intentionally wiping people out and doing all that sort of crazy stuff, it's just not even... It's not even worth it, mate. It's literally not worth it. But anyway, guys, tell me what you think in the comment section below. I know you've been involved in incidents like this. Everybody has at some point. We got to start reporting them and getting them out of the game for a little bit so they learn their lesson. But anyway, guys, Cryptic TNG, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to catch my videos first. And peace.